Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by PlayPicks and TheLines.com. I'm your host, Nate Weitzer, flying solo on the East Coast. As I mentioned, Josh Lander getting married tomorrow out in California, so we will be off for a week there and then back in full strength through the conference finals and finals, bringing you every single game video along with our player props videos. I've got both for you tonight as we look at some game sixes, Bucks and Warriors trying to close out at home. Here's a look at the lines right now. Bucks are -1.5 in that game six. 210.5 is the total. Warriors -8 after getting blowed out in Memphis, and that total at 218. So starting with the East Coast game here, maybe really a reverse of the last two games for the Celtics in that they came back in the fourth quarter, didn't pull off the win in game three, but had a huge advantage down the stretch. And they had a 156 offensive rating those previous two fourth quarters. Not so much in quarter four here. The ball just stuck. It was basically the same issue that plagued Milwaukee in that they were just going one-on-one, settling. They went 21 points, 5 for 5 assist to turnover ratio, allowing 10 points off turnovers, allowing 7 offensive rebounds and 9 second chance points, including basically the clinching bucket, which was a missed Giannis free throw. Bobby Portis grabbed the rebound after Boston unable to secure it. And then Drew Holiday two fantastic defensive plays to seal it for Milwaukee. So, I mean, how did Boston bounce back from here? They're 22-11 straight up after the loss, but not necessarily a dependable team in terms of when they're road dogs. 7-15 straight up. Definitely not dependable in close games, which is what we just saw. 4-11 in 3-point games all year. Milwaukee is 6-2, and that's kind of the next step in the evolution for this team. Is that do they have a closer? And Jason Tatum is not that. I mean, he continues to put up empty calorie stats, and not necessarily saying that his shooting was terrible. I mean, he was 2 for 11 from three, but he doesn't have those timely buckets, that ability to stave off the run. It was very similar to game two in the sense that Boston was just hanging on for dear life after blowing doors off Milwaukee early. They really had a ton of points off turnovers in that first half, fast break points in their favor as well. They built that lead all the way to 14 points in the fourth quarter, in fact, and then Giannis came back as he does, as great players do. But then down the stretch, the Celtics, their offense just looks completely stuck. And it's once again Tatum leading by example, complaining to the refs and costing his team points the other way. I think that happened 3 different times in the fourth quarter. Someone has tracked that the Celtics basically missed a rotation because somebody was complaining to the ref instead of getting back. And it's not as if the officiating was terribly one-sided in any of these games. It's been a very tough series to officiate, as it often is with Giannis. They have been calling those offensive fouls on Giannis. He was getting into a bit of foul trouble. Really, the most key officiating point was a Grayson Allen and one that if Udoka had used his challenge in the fourth quarter, might have gotten reversed into an offensive foul. The only contact was Allen pushing off while he was in the air. It didn't go, and that was just another key part of Milwaukee's comeback as they shot 6 for 6 from 3 in that fourth quarter. And for the game, finally some positive regression, shooting the 3, 45%. Pat Connaughton extremely clutch on that one. And they lost the paint points battle for the first time all series. They've been leading the paint points by 20 points per game, lost at 50-44 in game 5. Still huge battle advantage on the boards, as I mentioned. So 7-0 reps in the second half were huge, 17 for the game. Playing Bobby Portis a lot more down the stretch, and no Rob Williams for the Celtics to contend with those bigs, with Brolo and Portis. So Williams questionable tonight. It sounds sort of possible that he will play. Udoka indicated that the extra couple days rest will allow the swelling to go down. Maybe Williams can play, but only maybe 20 to 25 minutes. I think you definitely like the over if he can't play, or if you think he's not going to be super effective. The defensive rating is 115.8 for the Celtics without Rob Will in these playoffs, 107 with him. They rebound 4 fewer rebounds per game, 1.5 fewer blocks and steals per game. And it's just a very important line of defense for Giannis, who's been able to get around Al Horford, his primary defender. Udoka's gone away from using Grant Williams on him. And yeah, he's just roasting Tatum or Brown, putting them in the basket when he gets that switch. Giannis, the market finally has caught up with him that he's so obviously going to lead the game in scoring. I highlighted this last 2 games. It's close to even money for him to be the top point scorer in the game. Minus 165 now at FanDuel. It's still a very safe bet, in my opinion. His points prop is up to 33.5 and close to even money there. And you can get Giannis 30 plus in a win at plus 140. Which is just a different version of the money line, in my opinion. I mean, I guess there's a world where he scores 28, 29 and the Bucks still win, but his usage rate is 42.5% in these last 4 games, and he's really thriving without Williams down there, just attacking relentlessly, 10.5 free throw attempts per game. And the 35 plus for Giannis, which is also pretty where you would forecast where his prop is plus 245 in the win. Yeah, I mean, that's what you expect from a killer, from a champ like Giannis. In the last time he was in a big closeout spot, he had a 50-17 game against the Suns to put them away. And now he's looking to put these Celtics away, kind of carrying the torch on from LeBron. This is what LeBron did in terms of putting away the Celtics with huge Game 6 performances. I don't think the Celtics are going to go down easy, but I don't like them in a close game. That has definitely drained my confidence of their performance in clutch time. So Bucks to win by 1-10 at plus 180. I think I like that, just like I like Celtics to win a close one at home in Game 5, and they choked it away. Bucks to win by 5 or less is plus 420, and both of those are worth a look. I don't think Boston's just going to slink away, get blown out. They find a way to come back and at least make it close if they get down. I think they'll actually be leading at half because of the response to this epic collapse and the leadership in that locker room and the leadership from Udoka to come out strong and very, very focused. So they're even money to lead at half, plus 100 on the money line. Like that bet. I also like no team to lead wire to wire, which has basically never happened this series since Game 1 when Milwaukee came out more aggressive. That's minus 140. Again, like the Giannis bet, it's not great odds, but it's a very, very safe bet, it seems. And then the total at 210, like I said, I think you like the over if you don't think Williams is going to be that effective or if he's not going to be able to play. So that's how I'll play this game. Definitely hope the Celtics can pull it out because everybody wants to see a Game 7 in Boston on Sunday.